Hello, this is Andrea with SV Happy Jack and my husband Brent coming around here, and we were wanting to continue our budgetary kind of conversation with the cost of our cruising season last year for the 2022 cruising season. So we've got everything kind of listed out here. I'm going to read through and talk with you a little bit about what we spent and what we thought was important. So first thing I'm going to mention is things that we set up prior to setting sail. These are things that we paid for and got situated before we left the docks at all. The first thing would be boat insurance. We spent $1,500 on boat insurance, which included our Bahamas cruising
Bahamas
extension.
charter, yep.
And we get our boat insurance through Boat US with Geico Marine. So that was the total for that. And then
Just to clarify, so Geico Marine will cover boaters in the United States only, and as soon as you leave the U.S. territories, you're required to call them and get an extension on your insurance. So the Bahamas charter, I think it adds like $60 per month to your insurance cost, and it gives you additional coverage in the Bahamas.
yeah, and they have a limited amount of time that they will cover you out of the country.
4 months.
4 months is the limit that you can be in the Bahamas and still have insurance coverage through Geico Marine. So there's that information for you. The other type of insurance that we got was personal insurance. We got some travelers insurance and dive insurance through DAN, the Divers Alert Network. And we spent a total of $913 between the membership, our dive insurance, and our annual travel insurance policy through DAN. Next thing that we wanted to talk about was spare parts, and I'm going to let Brent talk about this.
So spare parts covers anything from oil filters to oil, basically consumables that you would use pre-departure and that you would want to have on hand throughout your trip. We carry extra water impellers. We have a separate fuel pump, nuts and bolts, rivets, cotter pins. Stainless steel goods are expensive. We kept an inventory of about $1,500 in spare parts on board. There was far more than that than we brought with us the first season. We've since removed half of it. So $1,500 is what's reasonable for a 38-foot boat. And we primarily sail, things like engine gaskets and stuff like that we carry, but we don't consider that routine things that normal boaters would keep on hand.
Yeah, because we sail way more than we use our engine, so we don't need as much of those spare parts as a lot of boaters would.
Nor would many people do an engine rebuild out in a foreign country. They would make their way home to do it. So we're equipped to do whatever we would need to do wherever we are. So the next topic would be electronic subscriptions.
So we have several electronic subscriptions to help us navigate, be able to track where we're at, where we're going, and find out when it's good to set sail. We have a Garmin inReach that we utilize as kind of a satellite communication device, and it shows our tracking location so our family and friends can pull up the map and see where we are at any given point, and we can go back and review where we've been. It's really neat to be able to go back and look at the Garmin map and see everywhere that we've traveled in such a short period of time. It's fascinating.
It's also a safety device. Its primary function is that it can send out a distress signal. Part of the subscription, I believe, comes with insurance where they will help you with life and limb. So if you're in a part of the world that's not serviced by the Coast Guard, by the United States Coast Guard, let's just use the Dominican Republic as an example. The private part of the insurance on the SOS distress for the Garmin will hire private search and rescue. There are many limits, and I don't know all the details, but it just offers us an added benefit for a nominal fee. Again, I think we pay like $40 a month, something like that,
Yeah, it's
for the
$35 a
subscription.
month.
There's variable subscriptions with variable benefits. You'd have to check their website for the details.
Yeah. The next thing that we subscribe to is Fast Seas. We pay roughly $26 a year.
We pay, so fastseas.com is a website that we use in conjunction with the Garmin InReach. And a lot of sailors use a service called PredictWind, which we'll discuss next. PredictWind is expensive, and it has features that are not, they're beyond what you need to sail. Fast Seas, we pay $13 a month, and we held the subscription for 2.5 months during our trip when we were sailing outside of normal reach of land. And so Fast Seas allows us to text a text message to their server through the Garmin when we don't have cellular service, and then they will reply with a text message again through the Garmin with a forecast of weather and even sailing instructions. They'll give you waypoints and navigation points to head to. The service is invaluable, and it's super cost effective, especially in comparison with PredictWind. PredictWind again is useful, but it's an exorbitant cost for what it provides, and they have their own satellite subscription service through the Iridium Go network, which again is a cost that's not necessary for the typical day sailor or coastal cruiser as we would fit the description of. So fastseas.com is again $13 a month, super reliable. It gets you weather forecasting and routing to plan your trip, and you don't need to spend the $260 a year that we would pay for PredictWind, because you just pay month to month on Fast Seas for what you need. That being said, we also have a PredictWind subscription.
We do. And it's something we can pull up on our cell phone with our data.
It requires the internet.
It does require the internet, and it works really well. It does give a lot more information, and it's got a lot more features than what we need.
It gives the information in a different way. Fast Seas offers the same information, but PredictWind does it with a visual graphic, and you can watch a cartoon of what's going to happen.
A little boat go
Whereas
across the map.
Fast Seas sends you a text message. It's in black and white. You have to be a seasoned sailor to understand what you're reading. I can't say enough good about Fast Seas, but PredictWind is easy and it's convenient, and therefore we subscribe to both.
Yep. So the next thing we have is our cell phone, which we spend about $120 a year on. I'm on a family plan, so it makes it super cost effective for each individual on the family plan.
Go through T-Mobile and Sprint. We have a grandfathered plan.
And so we are able to get unlimited text and data throughout the Bahamas, which is fantastic. We can't make phone calls in the normal way, but we can use WhatsApp and utilize our data that we get unlimited and make phone calls through WhatsApp. And so it allows us to stay in connection with our family and friends, and also be able to pull up the PredictWind information
and we upload
and our weather information through Windy.
We upload videos like this. They take 4 to 5 days to upload via the data, because you got to remember you're limited to 3G data in the Bahamas for free, and you can pay for an extension if you want to get modern, faster speeds. We don't have any need to post these videos, and they upload as they upload, and it just helps out our sailing community and our friends and family. So we don't put a lot of expense into the video portion of it. It's just for our memories, for our future, and to share with our friends and family of where we're going. But our cellular, monthly fee helps be able to upload wherever we go.
Yeah. So there's that. The next topic we wanted to talk about was provisions. So last year when we set off, we spent way more on provisions.
We spent $3,800 on food that was dry goods, flour, sugar,
non-perishable items.
Right.
And we discovered that was way more than we needed for the sailing season. We used about a quarter of that, so we spent roughly $950 on what we utilized last season in cruising.
Yeah, so how we came up with that original number was that we took a binder and we wrote out meals that we like. Pizza, spaghetti, chicken and pasta, you name it. We put whatever we thought we would eat. And then we asked ourselves, how often would we consume that? I don't like to eat a meal more than once a month of the same thing. So we spread out, chicken and pasta, and we said once per month. Then we tallied all those numbers over a 12-month period. Actually, I think we did 9 months. I'm quite certain.
I'm pretty sure.
And so after 9 months, we went out and we bought that quantity of food. And
we also quantified based off of the actual serving sizes on the packaging.
Correct.
For each item. So it wasn't your average USA America meal.
Yes.
It was actually based on the serving sizes
listed on the
boxes.
Yeah, for a 2,000 calorie diet, which we've never eaten that in our life, but we would highly recommend it. We lost a lot of weight. I lost 50 pounds.
I lost 30 pounds.
And we were never hungry. We
were never hungry, yeah.
If you stick to the serving size, you can eat as often as you want, and you're not being gluttonous, and so you're actually burning what you consume.
Yeah.
So, I digress.
And then we also calculated what kind of meat we would need to bring based off of the adage that we read. You should expect to get about 20% of your protein from the sea when fishing.
Right, or lobsters and everything.
Or whatever. When we got here, we realized as we started fishing and lobstering that we could pretty much sustain ourselves on seafood and just, utilize our canned vegetables or fresh vegetables. And we didn't need all the frozen meat that we brought with us, and we rarely touched the frozen meat that we brought with us.
Yeah, we brought about 60 pounds of frozen goods with us. That's orange juice, meat, hamburger,
steaks, chicken, bacon, sausage balls.
Yeah, you name it. We didn't want for anything.
We didn't.
And so the fish and lobster and everything, that we pulled out of the sea, you eventually get tired of that, and so you have to have mandatory bratwurst days.
Yeah. There was one time that I was like, I can't eat any more seafood right now. And we pulled some brats from the freezer, and I made some homemade buns for the brats, and we ate phenomenally that night on brats, and it was great. And then the next morning, we went back to lobster and eggs.
That's right.
Breakfast.
So that was all the pre-costs of cruising, everything we loaded on the boat before we left. And so now this segment, we're going to come to basically what you need while you're cruising.
So for the next section, we have our visa and cruising fees. We traveled to the Bahamas last season. So during COVID, of course, we had to get a health visa, which is about $40 and change per person to get our health visa. And to be able to get the health visa, we had to get COVID testing, which was roughly about $54 for the two of us. And then we had to pay for our cruising permit, which also came with our fishing permit. In the Bahamas, for our size vessel, it is $300 for a 3-month time frame for your cruising permit and fishing license. So that grand total for the health visa, cruising permit, and COVID testing was $436.
And that gets you into the country legally. It's totally worth it, and we love the Bahamas. It's been great here. We would happily pay that anytime, especially
Definitely.
for the duration. They allow you to stay up to 4 months without renewing that, and then you can renew it up to a year. And of course, you would pay additional fees.
Yeah, and for it to come with your fishing license and as much seafood as we ate last season while we were here, hands down, worth $300 just on the fishing license.
It pays for itself in the first week.
It really did.
If you fish.
Yeah, especially with how much lobster we ate. It was fantastic.
Lobster, scallops, conch. Yeah, we made our own conch salad. Thank you, Big Daddy Brown, for the education.
We
can't thank you enough. In every video we make, we got Big Daddy Brown's conch shack because he's fantastic.
So then we had excursions and entertainment. We spent $236 on random shops and
Park entries, golf cart rentals. We went to the Butterfly Museum when we were in Key West before we jumped off over to the Bahamas. I highly recommend the Butterfly Museum.
yeah, it was a lot of fun.
It was way better than I expected it to be. I mean, I expected it
It was
to be
for her
neat.
birthday.
It was for my birthday, and we walked in, and it was magical.
It was magical. That is a perfect way to state it.
Yeah. So on excursions and entertainment, we spent $236. The next thing that we did
Was
or
dockage.
talk about is dockage, and this dockage includes not only when we would actually dock the main vessel at a marina, but it also includes some dinghy dock fees that we got in Key West. So in Key West, we had some dinghy dock fees at the Key West Bight Marina. And then the rest of our dockage fees, we went to the Grand Bahama Yacht Club when we first checked in. Loved the Grand Bahama Yacht Club. It's very nice. Everyone was just over the top, friendly,
Very friendly.
loving, treated
Very
us
helpful.
as family. The owners their house was just directly in front of where our boat was docked, and they just basically said, come on up if you need anything.
Yeah, they invited
Knock
us
on our
to
door.
dinner a couple nights, and we already had plans and had to graciously turn them down. But fantastic, a wonderful place. We would highly recommend the Grand Bahama Yacht Club.
Yes, highly recommend them. The next yacht club that we had stopped by was the Old Bahama Bay.
In West End.
In West End.
We didn't care for it.
We didn't care for
It didn't have that small town charm that we got from Grand Bahama Yacht Club, and
Right.
they did not cater to
Sailing cruising vessels.
Right.
I think the Old Bahama Bay is made for fishing motor boats.
It's a quick check-in, you move on. There wasn't the warm feeling that they wanted you to stay there for a week and spend money there. Grand Bahama Yacht Club made you feel like family, and you felt like your money was investing into something that was worthwhile.
Yeah. So the next marina we had stopped at was the Ocean Reef Yacht Club, and we stopped there our second visit through Grand Bahama, and it was very nice. I'd recommend them.
Hung out in the hot tub.
Yeah, they had a hot tub and a pool.
Yep, good drinks, good food.
Good drinks, good food. Everybody was nice, friendly. They had a car rental availability there that was cost effective. We were
Yep.
able to rent a car for a day and do some traveling around the island that we wanted to do.
Yeah, property
and-
searching.
Yeah, property searching, and it was great. I would recommend them.
So then when we left the Bahamas, we sailed to Bimini, and we stayed at the Bimini Blue Marina. It was nice. There was nothing great or bad about it. It was centrally located. It was cost effective.
They had a pool.
They had a cruisers get together that they hosted the last night we were there.
Yeah.
There was easily 100 people that brought snack foods and a lot of chit chat. We didn't participate extensively in it because we had just wandered back to the boat from
And
a day of
stumbled upon it.
adventuring. But the fact that they allowed that to happen and encouraged it was great. The
Yeah.
security was good. They had gates. There was plenty of attendance. In total, we spent $702 on dockage.
So after that, the next thing we're going to talk about is fuel costs. So in this total is $526, and that includes gas costs and diesel.
We use gas in the dinghy to get around. We do not have a generator on board, and we use diesel fuel to power Happy Jack, our main transit vessel.
So all in all was $526 for both the gas and diesel. And diesel, we only spent 22 gallons of diesel fuel our entire trip last season.
Right, we only consumed about 22 gallons of diesel fuel to go 1,500 miles last season. We sailed the rest of the time.
Yeah, so the majority of that was our gasoline for
We use
for
about
our
6
dinghy.
gallons a week in gasoline going out fishing and just getting around, getting to shore from the boat. And so that's where the majority of that fuel cost was. So again, that was $526.
Yep.
Our biggest single expense was eating out. We are
Yeah.
foodies. We love all the food. Shout out to Tara, my fellow foodie at St. Francis. We love food.
If we find a bakery is anywhere near us, we're going to visit that bakery and probably try everything there.
Yep, coffee, baked goods,
We
chicken.
seek it out. Oh man,
Chicken at the
fried
Buccaneer Club.
Chicken at the Buccaneer Club in Governor's Harbor, Eleuthera.
Yes.
If you ever get the chance, order the fried chicken. I ate it twice in one day. It's fantastic.
Yes, best fried chicken she's ever had.
It really is, hands down, best fried chicken I've ever had.
So eating out in total for the 6-month period, we spent $387.
$2,387.
I'm sorry, $2,387.
Yep. And then we had some cash expenditures while we were out, and that just encompasses a lot of different things.
It's hard to track. We bought T-shirts, we bought miscellaneous parts from extra spearheads at the bait and tackle shop. All in all, we spent $3,937 in cash, and we have notes on odds and ends of what that went to, but it's too much to quantify in this video. So sufficient to say, if you bring $4,000, it will happily get you 6 months in the Bahamas. We did not want for anything our
we
first season here. We treated ourselves because it's our first season. This season we're going to be more frugal, and we're in more remote places, so we don't have the opportunities that we had last
as
year.
much as we had last year. And then in fresh groceries, we spent a total of $866. This includes mainly just fresh fruits and vegetables and local treats. Anything that we would find.
Local sodas.
Local sodas.
They have different types of alcohol that we really love. The Sands Rattlers.
Sands Rattlers.
the
Flick
Calique.
Rattlers.
Yep.
Oh, they're just fantastic.
And that is hand in hand with the cash expenditures. A lot of the bars only take cash. And so, you know, we brought back cases of rattlers to share with friends and family. You all probably know of them if you're watching this video. But again, those type of things come out of the cash expenditure and maybe some of the grocery expenditures.
Yeah.
And then the last thing we have on the list is miscellaneous. We spent $425 on miscellaneous fees.
Credit
Some of
card
that
fees.
was our credit card fee. We use a United Mileage Plus Explorer credit card, which does not cost us any sort of fees to use internationally.
But we pay an annual fee
But
for
we
it.
do pay an annual fee for it. It's about $95, and we each have a card. But it's well worth it. Well worth it. We get several other benefits from those cards.
Our airline miles.
Passes to the United Club.
That's the United Mileage Plus card. It's through Chase, and we would highly recommend it to anybody. Wait until they're doing a promotion if you're going to sign up for that credit card. And generally, they give you between 40 and 60,000 points. That is enough for 2 round-trip tickets to Hawaii, which is, you know, that's why we sought after it. We love Hawaii. We go there regularly, and that card single-handedly has gotten us there at least twice. So the grand total of everything we spent the last 6 months of cruising in the Bahamas for the 2022 cruising season is $14,823.
So not bad if you consider 6 months of living on a sailboat versus 6 months of living on land. I mean, that's pennies on the dollar.
What we budgeted was $10,000 per person per year. Last season got cut short. We had some family members that passed away, some weddings, and so we had to get back for personal reasons. And, you know, I think we were on track to meet that budget. Again, when you first get here, you're like a kid in a candy shop, and it's hard to rein yourself in. You want to try everything new. Now we know what we like, we know what we don't like, and it'll help us stay on budget. But $15,000 for 6 months, I don't care where you go, it's definitely money well spent.
Yeah.
The mental health that we gained from being here and living fresh,
Yeah.
eating fresh.
And the weight we lost.
You can't
versus
put a price
going
on
to
it.
a gym.
Yes.
And the cost of that was, yeah, we came back so much healthier than when we left.
Yep. Money well spent. Well, we're going to end the video here so it doesn't get too long. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. Again, the cost of the 2022 cruising season, all inclusive, was less than $15,000.
Yep.
Have a good day.
Bye.